Hey everybody, this is Big Temp with the Cavecast. Thanks for coming and watching our content today. We hope you enjoy it. If you do, hit that like button. If you're new, hit that sub button. Again, thank you for tuning in, and this is the Cave. What's happening, everybody? This is Big Temp with the Cavecast. I am joined today with
The
great.
one and only,
Couldn't even get it out the
your
mouth.
your favorite, your favorite host.
Oh God. So I'm joined by the one and only former K-State defensive back and friend to the show. I should just say family of the show,
Yeah,
D-Rob. So
yeah,
uh,
your favorite second host
yeah, our
over
other
Mike.
host, Big Mike, is not here today. He's feeling a little bit under the weather, and Mike, just so you know, D Rob told me to let you know that he said we'll be okay. He'll
Yeah,
take care of things from here on out. So, you know,
I got
don't
this.
don't worry about it. He's got you. So uh, we are on day three of the Chiefs. Uh, how should I say, collapse in the Super Bowl 59. And I like, other Chief fans are still kind of wondering what the hell happened. Uh,
Yeah,
it was not a good game. It was not a good game plan. The Chiefs did not look like the Chiefs, and I know that can happen. You know, like Mike Tyson said, everybody's got to, it's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Well, the Chiefs got punched in the mouth. And I think that's part of the reason. I don't think that's the whole reason why we had this collapse in such a big game when there was so much on the line for the Chiefs. I think that's part of it. The other parts, I will go through as we uh, go through this podcast today, and I will give my take on how I saw things. Uh, there's just a lot to kind of digest, and I've heard everything. I've heard people say uh, it was Kelsey, it was Patrick Mahomes, it was the
and
offensive line. It was, I mean, everything you can think of. And people want to blame somebody, rightfully so, because it did not look like the Chiefs came out and gave any, of the effort that we were used to seeing in certain situations such as this.
exactly.
I don't know what you saw, D Rob, but you did say you know exactly why they lost this game. So I'm going to let
I
you
just,
start this off.
I mean, going into the game, I thought it was gonna be a close game.
Yeah.
Uh, I think just looking at it, man, I don't know. I feel like we overlooked the Eagles. I totally feel like we overlooked them. I feel like we didn't game plan and respect them the way that we should have. Just from looking at them play previous teams, like they definitely played throughout the playoffs. Like they were always on the edge. Like it could have went either way, 50-50. You see them give up that many points against the Commanders, and I'm just sitting there like, okay. But I thought, just with the three-peat on the line and just being able to break history, I thought we would have came in a little bit more focused and disciplined. I didn't feel like we were focused. It felt like we wasn't prepared for anything that happened. We
Yeah.
stopped Saquon. I feel like the biggest thing was our focus. We stopped Saquon, but we couldn't stop anything else. And
You
for
know,
some reason,
yeah.
I don't think McDuffie should have been on AJ all the whole game. I think we could have played a little bit more zone. Our linebackers definitely got exposed to
Yeah.
playing in man. And Jalen Hurts just played smart football to me. He took what they was giving him. I don't.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm disappointed, man. I thought they would have played a little bit. with a little bit more focus and just with a little bit more emotions to the game. It just I don't know. It felt kind of dead to me. It just didn't feel like a Super Bowl. It just didn't. It didn't look like the same team from the regular season on to the playoffs. I don't
Yeah.
know what the hell happened, but
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that part. It did not seem like the same team coming into this playoff game. Like when we played Buffalo in the AFC Championship game, it was a different feel. They came out completely different. They
it
were,
almost seemed controlled. It seemed like we
yeah,
had control even when we was down by one at one point.
yeah. It seemed different, right? So
Yeah,
you said something that was kind of funny, and I went back and I did some numbers and I looked at certain things, and here's the deal. So I have three reasons why I think the Chiefs actually lost this game, and they all contribute to the Chiefs' failure in Super Bowl 59 equally, I think, right?
oh yeah, yeah,
No, number one thing was time of possession. The time of possession for the Kansas City Chiefs
man.
was 23 minutes and 2 seconds. The Eagles controlled the ball for 36 minutes and 58 seconds.
Yeah,
That is ridiculously unbalanced. I
I
mean,
don't
like,
even know. Like, yeah,
yeah, that's utterly ridiculously unbalanced. You didn't even get 30 minutes of possession in this game, and a lot of that was contributed to the quick three and outs. The quick three and outs that
quit,
came. They were,
quit.
yeah, I did not like it.
Dropping the ball, felt
Yeah,
rushed.
and
I don't even know. I don't even think Mahomes even was. To me, he never felt comfortable
I don't think he
in
did.
the line of scrimmage.
I don't think he did,
'Cause,
and that's one of the things I'm going to talk about in here too about him being in that situation where he's not comfortable, right? And I get that
yeah,
there's going to be times in the game where you're not comfortable, but at the same time, not every fucking play,
fucking play. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you know. Uh,
yeah.
that was my number one thing. The time of possession was so unbalanced. The Eagles won that possession, right? They won that possession, battle, right? Uh oh. And then the number two thing was the run game. The Chiefs ran for 49 yards total in the whole game. Uh, Mahomes had 4 attempts for 25 yards. We had 7 rushes besides Mahomes' 4 attempts.
Mahomes, yeah,
So we had 7 rushes besides Mahomes' 4 attempts, and those 7 rushes came from the other 3 running backs, Kareem Hunt, Piron, and Pacheco, for a total of 24 yards. Now you look at that and you add up what the Eagles did, who rushed for 135 yards in this game. Not not a world breaker or world beater, right? But 135 yards to 49 yards.
yeah.
Hurts had 11 attempts for 72 yards, and he had 1 touchdown in this situation. Barkley,
Mm-hmm.
Barkley, who is the guy that we actually keyed on, and we said, that was the game plan. We were going to try to take Barkley away and take away the game breakers that he's always used to making. Barkley had 25 attempts for only 57 yards and no touchdowns. No touchdowns.
Yeah,
No touchdowns rushing the ball. So the Chiefs defense did its job. But when they are on the field that often and they can't get a break, then they're going to get tired. And as they get tired, things are going to go bad. Plus, the Chiefs were always giving up a short field to the Eagles. They were
yeah.
always giving up a short field, which gave them a chance to always be able to put points on the board.
Always.
And that's another thing that irritated me with this game plan because I'm like, what in the fuck are we doing? Why can't we run the ball? Why if we're not running the ball, I mean, you in order to run the ball and say, give your team a chance. Because
Yeah,
one thing I do know is this. I've watched enough football, Dorian. This is one of those things I think anybody knows. If a team is only going to rush 4 and they're going to put 7 in coverage and they're just bull rushing, right? Well, how do you keep
Yep.
a quarterback, from getting dirty? You run the ball. You make
Run.
them become honest and have to bring
Yep.
people down into that box. So if
Yep.
they're bringing people down into that box, now you can start passing the ball. But they didn't even attempt to run the ball. This was total
Yep.
coaching failure. This was a total coaching failure. And I know people ain't going to like that because I love Andy Reid too, but I think sometimes he gets arrogant as hell and he believes that he's going to do it his way and they're going to stick to the game plan and this and that. And that was apparent because if you look at the second half, there was no adjustments on offense really, except for maybe a chip block here and a chip block there.
That interception coming in after the second half, coming into the second half was terrible.
It was utterly horrible. And that's because Mahomes, look, he didn't see the guy. He just didn't see the guy. I get it. But at some point, he's trying to, do too much. And when he's the reason
Too much.
why he's trying to do too
Yeah.
much is because he feels like things are slipping away.
Yeah.
And I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
When you get to that point, yeah, those type of things happen and you're gonna make a mistake. Look, I looked at the numbers. The numbers between the Chiefs and the fucking Eagles on offense, they're not that different. They're really
And a
not.
lot of and a lot of it they came back and they got 22 points at towards the end of the fourth, but it's just like
Yeah, I've heard all that bullshit about how the Chiefs were playing against the second stringers and this and that. I said bullshit. I said
they wasn't
those
playing
are
against no
those
goddamn second
those
strings.
those are first string guys still out there.
Yeah,
If
they was.
The Eagles wanted to embarrass the Chiefs, they kept guys out there. They wanted to run that score up as much as they possibly could.
Oh yeah,
They
most
wanted to
definitely.
embarrass the Chiefs, right?
Yeah,
So I looked at that. That's the number two thing. The fucking run game was nowhere to be found. Andy Reid
trash.
didn't do anything to compensate or do anything for a run game. And the one thing I
No,
do know is that the Eagles like to play zone. Well, if they're going to play zone, Kelsey has to be available. Well, how do you get Kelsey available? You start running the ball, and once they start trying to collapse in those, down into the box, now
yeah,
Kelsey can actually get into those zones pockets and make himself available. Kelsey
yeah,
didn't look Kelsey didn't look good either though. Kelsey looked bad. I don't know if
yeah.
what was going on, but he just didn't look like Kelsey. And let's be honest, he hasn't looked like Travis Kelsey all season really, except for
Nah,
I think maybe 1 or 2 games. He's looked like Kelsey, but he didn't look like Kelsey. There was no fire. There was no no emotion. It just didn't
none
look
at
good.
all.
None. It
It
didn't look
did. It's
good.
just it felt like they came out. They didn't get off the bus. Honestly, they just didn't
That's
get off the bus. I didn't feel nothing. I didn't see
I
nothing. I
I
just
said that the night of the game. I said it seems like they never even got off the bus. That's what
it's
I
like I
said.
don't know what the hell happened, and we couldn't stop anybody on this in the secondary.
No. Uh,
McDuffie looked so scared. I don't know what the hell. He gave AJ a little bit too much respect.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I think that Jalen Watson is a good corner,
Yeah,
but I think they put too much on him trying to come back from an injury where he hasn't played really all season.
yeah,
And now you are trying to get him to come out in a Super Bowl, and he's got to run with Devontae Smith all over the field.
that's what I said. I was like, I feel like matchup wise, you need to put McDuffie on Devontae, and
Yeah,
you need to put Watson on AJ. I just
I
feel
mean
like
maybe you could put McDuffie on him in short yardage situations or something like that where he's playing down closer to the line of scrimmage, and
yeah,
try to make it seem like he's going to try to press or whatever, but not where he's actually getting out on a route and now AJ can use his height and his strength to
yeah.
cause problems for McDuffie. So I
Hey,
totally agree with that. I didn't like Devontae Smith with Jalen Watson because I don't think Jalen was ready all the way. I don't think he hasn't played enough games to be at that point to play Devontae Smith. That's just my
Oh,
thoughts. That doesn't mean I'm right. It just means that's my thoughts. Now I'm gonna ask you this: Do you think you can guess what my third reason is for why the Chiefs lost this game?
I
I
mean,
don't.
it had to be turnovers.
Well, that's gonna come. That's gonna come with poor performance. I think no matter what.
It
But
got to be. It got it. I mean, the coach, play calling.
I gave that with run game. I think that goes along with it. The offensive
Yeah,
play calling was bad, and I think the number one thing was the run game. So coaching was is right there, but I think
I want to hear it.
the number three thing that I have on here is offensive line. We
Yeah,
have
terrible.
had
Oh
we
yeah,
have
yeah.
we have had nothing but problems with offensive line for the last 2 years, really. And
Hey,
this game reminded me so much of the Tampa Bay Super Bowl game, except for in that
yeah.
game, Mahomes was actually able to make plays with his feet and
Uh-huh.
it almost looked like he was Superman out there for a little bit, right? In this
Yep.
game, the offensive line, look, they only rushed four. They blitzed one time. Okay, I've heard people say they blitzed none. I looked at some of these things and I went back and looked at the all 22. They blitzed one time. As far as I can count, was one time there was a
Yeah.
blitz. The Eagles blitzed one time, but the rest of the time, these are straight up bull rushes, and the left hand side, either it be Tooney or Caliendo, they were pressured all night. They were pressured all night, and here's what's funny. Now,
It was even leaving Creed out there to have to. I'm like, God
here,
damn. I
here,
didn't see not one spot on the line that they couldn't get. I'm like,
no, exactly. Now, here's what I'm
couldn't
gonna
pick
say.
one side to rush.
Here's what I'm gonna ask you, as a former defensive player yourself, right?
Yeah,
If you see that, hey, look, we can get home with four all night, and I don't have to worry about the run game, then that means what to you guys? If you're on the defensive side,
if I'm on the defensive side, you ain't got to. If I ain't got to worry about the run game.
yeah. If your front four are getting home with
Oh
four,
yeah,
what
yeah.
is
I'm
that?
sitting here. I'm worried. I'm worried. I ain't really too much worried about that. I mean,
You don't
they
have
ain't have to work. So I ain't got to work too hard.
no
I
exactly,
got
and
to work too hard.
that's what I was saying about this game is that the Chiefs made it so easy to defend them because they bull rushed
Easy.
for the whole game, right? And listen, Mahomes was 21 for 32 for 257 yards, three touchdowns, two interceptions. And yeah, he got those three touchdowns, they say, in garbage time. Fine. The starters are still out there. I get it. Say what
Yep.
you want to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hurts threw for 17 for 22, 221 yards, two touchdowns, and one interception, right? Now, here's what's funny about this. Hurts was able to keep the Chiefs defense honest because they game planned for Saquon.
Mm-hmm.
So the play action, him pulling the ball in the RPO, running out, getting himself free, making himself dangerous, those things work because of Saquon taking a lot of that focus from the defense. The Chiefs were not able to do the same thing because they never ran the ball. Well, if they're bull rushing four, like I said before, and you're not running the ball, they don't have much to worry about. They don't have much to
Yeah.
worry about. You made it easy on their defense. Hell, I'd be surprised if any one of them busted a sweat that night. To be honest with you.
Man,
So
it looked. Oh man, that game was. It's depressing even thinking about it.
it
I
is
just.
it's very depressing and it's upsetting to me. Now listen, I'm not gonna hold on to this forever, right? But as a fan, yes, it pisses you off because you know that there's things that could have been done. I remember when Veach told everybody after that Tampa Bay game when we played them in the Super Bowl, because we were so hurt at offensive line, he said this will never happen again. And he fucked around and let it happen again.
Yeah.
Listen, I know they drafted guys. I know that they drafted
Yeah.
guys late. But I
Yeah.
also know the one thing that you do not want to do if you have a quarterback who's a Hall of Fame candidate. He's your
Yeah.
he is your, you know, he's your shining piece on the mantle. He's that
Oh,
thing
that's
that you're the
the
most
show
proud.
dynasty. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't let that go to chance and not protect him by getting whatever you can on his blind side to make sure he
Yeah.
stands upright.
Yeah.
The
You
Chiefs,
need at least something.
yeah,
You
the
need at
Chiefs,
least a right tackle, left tackle, and Creed out there. And I think
yeah. Even if you don't get the greatest guard in the world, you look.
exactly.
Listen, we last year we had the same offensive line except for Donovan Smith, right?
Uh-huh.
We put Nick Allegretti in because Tooney got hurt. He was out.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Allegretti came in and played. He broke his arm in the damn Super Bowl last year and kept playing.
They're playing.
They let him go. He goes to Washington, has a great year. Now, all I can tell you is this: there are pieces that we need,
Yeah.
but we, for some reason, have been too worried about putting wide receiver pieces around Mahomes, which is fine, but I also think you cannot overlook the fact that the most important pieces on that team, besides Patrick Mahomes, is the offensive line. The offensive line is the most important because
And I feel yeah.
even if you don't have a great wide receiver, if you have a
Yeah.
great offensive line, I
Yeah.
think Mahomes can make something happen. I think
Yeah,
he can
he's
do
made
that.
stuff happen. He's made stuff happen in previous years without just having,
A
just elite
decent,
receivers.
yeah,
He's had decent receivers that he can get the ball to.
yeah.
I really feel like we have to stack that. We have to get the line right. We have to get the line right. We got to be able to run the ball because I mean he can literally do everything, and it's gonna make it where he's gonna be able to be way more successful than he is now and way more dangerous. But he gotta come back next year with a chip on his shoulder. We gotta get the Pat Mahomes MVP Pat, breaking
I
records Pat, leading the league and all of that shit. Like we need that. We need that. I hope this makes them dig deep. I don't know what we're gonna do with Kelsey. I don't know if he's about to. I don't know how we looking at him, but
Here's my thing though. Don't you think that
he
the only
can't he
way that
can't give in.
don't you think the only way that we can get Pat back to, MVP Pat is if we get that line right?
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
shit, you got to do what the Patriots did with Brady. You got to make
yeah,
sure they fucking understand, like, hey, man, this the $1 million, $1 billion man. This the man that's getting y'all. This the man that's gonna get y'all paid at the end of the day.
yeah, and that's what I'm
I think
saying. And
that,
I
yeah,
would
we gotta
I
have
would
that.
I would spare no expense at the tackle position, especially left tackle, right? If I got to get rid of Trey Smith, which I don't want to do, but if I have to, listen, we can't afford to pay him $20 million a year as a guard. You would have
Yeah.
him, you would have Juwan Taylor, and then you just paid Creed, and now you got Tooney, who's got one more year left on his contract, making a bunch of money. You need to go ahead and let Trey Smith that situation, because if you're not going to sign Nick Bolton, okay, fine, then you keep Trey. But if you're going to
Mm-hmm.
keep Trey, you need to invest in left tackle. It has to happen. The left hand side of that has got to be better. And I can tell you right now, if if I'm Andy Reid, I'm talking to Veach and I'm telling them we're getting a running back, a game breaker in this draft, and we're getting a left tackle. I
I'm
don't give
giving
a
up on Chaco.
listen. I'm gonna tell you right now. I like Pacheco. I liked him when he came out. I thought he was great. But the one thing I will say about Pacheco is he's always injured. Every fucking
Yeah,
year, he's
it's the way
injured.
he runs.
Yeah, reckless abandon. He doesn't protect himself, and a lot of times he runs into holes that aren't even holes.
Yeah,
So I don't like it. So to me, you got
you
to
got
get
to get
that.
somebody that's make them step it up.
Yeah, you need a
Left
game.
tackle RB.
Yeah, you need a game. You need a game breaker at running back. And listen, I want Kareem back too. I think Kareem would be a nice addition on that team as a second down back, but I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to
Yeah,
keep him as a second back. But
yeah,
that's just me. But no matter what, you have to get a left tackle. Number one thing would be left tackle and a game breaking running back, and then you can worry about everything else. You know, you
yeah,
I, look, we're gonna have Rasheed Rice back. You're gonna have Worthy back, who had an excellent game,
yeah.
and
He's
those
yeah.
two,
I feel like he's gonna be more comfortable next year.
yeah, and those two dynamic wide
Together,
receivers
yeah, yeah,
together, I think you're gonna see some great things happen. And then you got to figure out the Kelsey thing. The Kelsey thing, I'm gonna be honest with you. If Kelsey is on the road doing a bunch of traveling out here with his woman and they're doing all this shit and they're always in the public eye and this and that, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know how well it's going to work. I
yeah,
think I think Kelsey needs to get back to that point where he is doing the grimy gutter, you know, sweating his ass off in the gym.
yeah. I mean, yeah. If it's gonna be his last year, if this gonna be his last go round and shit, we gotta see some. I feel like
We
we need one more. I feel like we need some at DB too. I feel like we got some great safety. I feel like we need a nickel. I really feel like we could put Watson on the inside, and we need one more corner out there.
we do need another corner, and I'm going to tell you right now, there are some nice ones
Right.
out there, but the one that I want, I think I don't know if he's going to be available at that point, so he'll probably
Yeah.
decide.
If you who are you talking about
Well,
corner
yeah, and
from the
there's
draft?
yeah, there's two of them I would like to have. I wouldn't mind having. I don't, listen. One of my guys was talking about getting Kobe from KU, right?
Yeah.
And I like Kobe. I think he's got great skills. I do. I think he's a little slight, but then I also have to remember Sauce Gardner isn't a very big guy as well either.
Hmm.
Uh, but I also like what's his name from Michigan, Will.
I know. You,
God dang it! Why can't I think of his damn name? I want to say Will Robinson, but I keep thinking I don't know if that's his name.
no, I don't think that's his name.
Uh,
I think that's his name.
oh, look, I might have to look it up. Will Johnson. Yep, that's it. So, Will Johnson is the other corner that I do like from Michigan. I I like him a lot, but I don't think he'll be there. I think he'll be gone by the time we get a chance to, we get to that point where we start picking up corners. And there's another thing that people aren't talking about that I think is another concern is that Chris Jones is getting older.
Yeah, that's another topic. That's another thing we got to talk about.
We need to invest a pick in a defensive lineman. Now,
We
game,
need a D
game,
line. We need an end, or we don't need a tackle.
and I want you to know this. We have like a bunch of free agents that we have to make a decision that we're going to sign, right? A
Yeah,
Minihue was one of them. You know,
yeah,
a Minihue is one of them. So, you know, I don't know if I'm still, you know, if I'm still excited about the Felix Anduke Uzama pick because he hasn't done a lot. He's had flashes here and there.
yeah.
You
Talking about
know,
K State.
Yeah, the kid from K State. I liked
Yeah,
him, but I don't know if he was worth the number one pick. I'm
yeah,
just saying. I'm gonna say that, but it's just because I haven't seen enough of him on the field. Right?
yeah,
I do like Turk Warden. I think Turk Warden has actually fucking played his ass off this year. I
yeah.
don't
I
want to
like
let
him.
I don't want to let him go. I think you have to try to keep him. I think Derek Nandi is probably done. I don't think you keep him. I think he's probably done, playing for the Chiefs. And
Yeah,
I also think that you need to start looking at maybe, if you could, try to see if you can bring in Willie Gay if you lose Bolton. If Bolton leaves, you might want to think about bringing Willie Gay back or someone similar with his
yeah,
kind of athleticism, right?
yeah,
Uh, there's a lot of
yeah.
things going on with the Chiefs right now, and there's a lot of layers that go with this because, you know, after a loss like this, you start looking at everything that you can possibly think of that you say we could be better at. And to me, that's normal. That's human because
Yeah,
you're upset and you're angry about how things went. But if I'm being honest, the number one thing has to be the offensive line. I don't care what anybody says. I was talking to a guy the other day, and he said, "Do you know that the Eagles every year for the last 5 years they
they
pick
had him.
up they pick up a
Yeah,
fucking offensive lineman or a defensive
the
lineman
D lineman. Yeah,
in the first and second round?" And I looked at it, I'm like, "Damn, they do. They really
that's why
fucking
they.
do."
That's why they line so steady. You
Yeah,
got Graham coming off the bench
Graham is
to
coming off
get
the
some
bench.
tape.
Yeah,
You got
uh,
Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter. Who
yeah,
else is over there? Who else is one of
Davis,
the
Jordan Davis, the kid that came out of
Jordan
Georgia.
Davis?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a couple of guys in the
What?
last
And
three
then
or
you got Josh Sweat over there.
yeah, they invest in an offensive lineman or defensive lineman every year for the past 5 years.
Man, shit, they knew what they was going to get.
Bill, the thing is that they understand that the most important thing you have to have is an offensive line. That's your protection. No matter who your QB is, you have to have
Yeah.
protection for them to be able to do their job, right?
Uh,
So me and Mike, we talked about this the night of the Super Bowl, and Mike was telling me, "Oh, nobody's going to trade with the Chiefs. Nobody's going to give." I said, "Look, there's plenty of left tackles, good left tackles out there who, if you look at their PFF grades, they're graded pretty high, but they're on bad teams." He's like, "No, there ain't that many of them out there." I said, "Hell, Andrew Thomas plays for the New York Giants. That's a bad team. He's a good left tackle, better than any left tackle we have on the Chiefs right now."
yeah.
He, you know, there's plenty of them out there. I mean, you just have to make a decision what you're willing to give up. If you're going to give up a futures pick, if you're going to give up cash consideration, if you're going to give up a player pick,
Yeah.
a sign and trade, you never know. That's
I
the
need the
thing.
chance to be captain.
Uh oh. That's the thing about trying to make those kind of decisions. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I believe this will be Brett Veach's hardest hardest year as a GM because he is going to he's going to have to make some real decisions. There's going to be
Oh yeah.
some real come to Jesus moments in this season, this off season. He's going to have to. So uh,
They talking about Arante Ursary from Minnesota.
yeah, that's the
Your
one
left
Mike.
tackle.
That's the one Mike says he really, really likes. He says, "I think this
He
kid
ain't
is
too bad.
fantastic." Mike has been boosting me up. He's been sending me text messages with pictures of this kid and his
Yeah.
measurements and how many snaps he had. There's a lot of people talking about this kid, and I don't. I'm okay with it, but I'm also thinking to myself, so what do you do with Sumataia? Are we going to move him to right tackle and kick Jawan
And
Taylor to the
somebody gotta
curb?
learn how to play the yeah.
You know,
Somebody gonna have to learn how to play the guard. They got Tyleek Williams, D lineman from Ohio State.
yeah, it's another.
They acting like we might get him or Donovan Jackson. O
Okay.
line guard, Ohio State, and then they talking about Matthew Golden, receiver from Texas. I
You
don't know
know,
why we looking for.
he's fast as shit. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah,
Matthew Golden, that kid is fast as shit. I
yeah.
don't know if we need another receiver at this point, or if that's really that big of a necessity. I will say that we should be looking at maybe another tight end, but why not
I
look at a?
like our tight end.
I do, but I'm saying if you're going to do that, look at a tight end or get a fucking running back. You need a game breaker. You need a game breaker, and Andy Reid's going to have to come out of this shit about not running the ball. He's gonna have to fucking break this shit and start running the ball.
Man,
You know, the power game in the NFL is such a lost thing between teams now because everybody wants to be cute.
oh
Everybody
yeah,
everybody wants to be fancy. Everybody wants to do these little trick plays, 3-yard bubble screens, tight end screens, flats, all this shit, RPOs. Listen, why can't we just run the ball downhill? Creed Humphreys is a downhill fucking blocker. So is fucking Trey Smith. If we keep Trey, you need to add some monsters to that line.
we need it. We need to solidify. We need to get it solidified. We need to have it where Pat got some. Man,
Yeah.
sometimes I just feel like he got to take some chances. I don't like our play call. I feel like we did not game plan for the Eagles. I don't know what the fuck we was looking at, but I feel like we ran. Look like we came back, came over, and tried to use
Yeah.
the same game plan with the Bills against the Eagles.
And you know what else is funny about that? I'm going to just tell you right now. Isn't it funny that Matt Nagy has been the offensive coordinator for the last 2 seasons, and then during these last 2 seasons, Patrick Mahomes has had his worst 2 offensive seasons as far as output goes.
Man,
So when Matt Nagy wasn't there and Eric Bieniemy was there, we won that Super Bowl against the Eagles.
yeah,
But that was Patrick Mahomes' best offensive year, over 5,200 yards passing. He won the MVP that year.
and all we had was Tyreek and Kelsey. Shit.
Well, no, Tyreek was gone. Tyreek was
Well,
gone already.
Tyreek was gone.
Yeah, but we had our best offensive year for Patrick. Ever since
Yeah,
Nagy has been there, these past 2 seasons has been Patrick Mahomes' worst 2 offensive outputtings as far as stats go. And
yeah.
he's looked worse. He's looked uncertain, unsure, especially at certain times. I'm telling you right now, I add one and one up, and I can tell
Mm-hmm.
you this shit don't. They can say it's not him, but I'm telling you right now, he does not look the same as he did before, and I think a lot of it is because he does not like the offense. He's
I feel like
unsure of him.
it's too I mean, I know he love the short shit. I feel like you got times and stuff where you gotta get the ball out fast. But I'm like, we don't take no. I'm like, for us to have Xavier Worthy out there, we don't take a lot of shots down the field. Like,
Yes,
we
and
gotta
that's
put people in position where, like, bro, you gotta let it fly.
yeah, and I
We should
think
have
you
been
can.
sitting.
Yeah, you're right. You
And I
should have
feel like
been.
that's how you open up Kelsey and you open up the Juju and you open up the D Hop. Yeah, we had a lot of drop passes too, which I was just like, what the fuck
Yeah,
is going on? But
I think you.
you
I
live,
think in.
live and
I think
you
in order
learn,
for you to.
man.
I think in order for you to do that with Worthy, just like you did with Tyreek, I think you have to have a very decent offensive line because you have to let Mahomes be able to drop back,
To get some, yeah,
hit his steps,
yeah, yeah,
so he can get that ball out on time to the person he needs to get it to. If he's rushed,
yeah,
it's not going to work. You know,
yeah,
I don't understand what's going on, but if you got Worthy, you can do that because nobody in the league is going to be able to hold him. If they're even with him, he's leaving. If they're even with
yeah.
him, he's leaving. He's the
Oh,
fastest
hands
motherfucker in the
down.
league. Why are we not fucking using this? The main reason why is because the offensive line can't hold up enough long enough for Patrick to be able to do that. So I think the number one thing has to be offensive line. So I
Yeah, we got to get a little gritty.
I've said my piece about this, and if you guys have any comments, leave it in the comments section. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section. We'd love to hear from you guys. We we've gotten to a point now as Chiefs fans where I've heard all the comments. I've heard a lot of Eagle fans talk a lot of shit about
Oh man.
y'all ain't shit. Mahomes is trash, this and that. And I'm like, you win one fucking Super Bowl against the Chiefs. Mahomes has gone to 3 Super Bowls straight, and he's won
Yeah.
two of them. He
Yeah.
can't be trash.
Yeah.
He's
Nah,
beat
he
he's
ain't
beat
fucking
you.
try. That's why they so
Yeah,
happy.
yeah, and he's beat
These
you in one of
motherfuckers was
those.
looking at this shit like, huh?
Yeah, exactly. To me,
I
we
don't
have
think
to.
motherfuckers knew, man. I'm gonna tell you
No,
something right now. I ain't mean to cut you off, but
no, you good.
these motherfuckers ain't taking consideration. It's Saquon's birthday. It's a little white chocolate out there. The Jean's birthday. Like these motherfuckers got something to play. They playing for a little extra.
Exactly.
They got their emotions is in it, and then they coming for the revenge tour.
Yeah,
You don't think they was talking about that shit all fucking the last 2 weeks? Even after they won it, they already knew, man.
yeah.
I just feel
And,
like
and
man.
you right about that, and I can tell you right now. Hey, I hope I hope people don't think that this is the end for Patrick Mahomes because I don't think it
Oh no
is.
no 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 no.
I hope people don't
I think
think
they
that
just
we.
added fuel to the fire, man.
I think they kind of did. And here's the thing.
Yeah,
I hope Mahomes understands that the fans still believe in him.
yeah, there's no
And
question asked.
and no matter what, if you're a Eagles fan, if you're a 49ers fan, if you're a Cowboys fan, this is that. I don't give a fuck who you root for.
Yeah,
The problem I have is when people start talking about how one person is bad and he's not what everybody thinks he is. He's
or
trash. He's
or saying he ain't in the go conversation no more. I heard Ryan Clark kind of killed Shannon Sharp.
yeah,
Shannon
because
Sharp sat up there and said that shit, but he like,
yeah,
motherfucker, how you caping LeBron and the motherfucker done been to 10, 11 finals. He only won four. And
yeah,
you sitting up here talking about, well, you gotta start making this shit make sense.
yeah, because you still saying LeBron is the GOAT, but yet he ain't did what Mike did, right? So we
Yeah,
can't
man,
we
bro,
can't have
yeah,
it can't have it both ways. Now I'm a firm believer in I don't give a fuck about the GOAT talk. We can set it over here for right now. All I want
yeah. We
Mahomes to
can leave
do
it there. Yeah,
All I want Mahomes to do is to go out there and work this off season and remember this
yep,
shit and
yep,
remember how it felt.
yep.
Because to me, there's no there's nothing else that's a motivator greater than when you get your ass handed to you
Mm-hmm.
and it's on the biggest stage in the world
Yep,
and you knew you were better than what you played. So
yep.
now you got something to fucking go improve. And I hope he remembers this ass whooping. I hope he remembers how things didn't go right. I hope he remembers that his performance didn't pan out the way that he thought it would in his head. And we don't
Man,
know what was going on with Patrick that night, but I will say this whatever it was, I hope that it's over with now, and now you can get a chance to get back into the lab and start
yes,
working because we need you
yep.
to do that. I just, you know, it's a lot of things that I can deal with. I can handle shit talking from haters. I can handle people, saying the Chiefs ain't this, the Chiefs ain't that.
Oh yeah, man. You gotta respect it. You gotta. I mean, I respect the Eagles.
I get it.
You gotta. You gotta.
I'll take it.
I expect. I expect motherfuckers. They wanted. They want. They've been talking about the refs and talking about Mahomes and them
But I
all
didn't
fucking
hear,
year. Yeah.
I didn't hear shit after that game about the refs though. You know how
Oh yeah, yeah.
you see how that changed?
Can't, man. And I'm not gonna bring that because I feel like that was at the beginning of the quarter, but woo, it was some calls where I'm like, ain't no fucking way. You know who kept calling them?
Yeah, exactly. All I can tell you
Same
is,
God.
I know. All I can tell you is, I didn't hear shit about the refs in that game. You know, when the Chiefs win, it's the refs. When everybody else beats
When
the
they
Chiefs,
lose,
yeah,
yeah.
when
Now,
everybody beats the
now
Chiefs, then
we
it was,
now we asked, yeah,
yeah, now we ask.
yeah, we finally they got to get they win again. Didn't nobody even fucking believe the Eagles was gonna win this goddamn Super Bowl. Didn't nobody, the fans even think it was gonna look like that. I just
No.
talked to a fan when I left the gym today. He said, I ain't even gonna, I didn't think it was gonna be like that.
Well, last week
I
when I
said,
called,
exactly.
yeah, last week when I called the game, I said I had the Chiefs winning 29-24. I thought it was going to be a close game. I thought these were
Yeah.
two evenly matched teams. When this shit happened and I seen how the Chiefs were playing, I said to myself, this is a horrible game plan. And they need to fucking adjust at halftime to try to make it
Oh man.
look decent. And then they continue to not do shit.
They just came out trying to pass the ball. They didn't try to throw no sweeps. They didn't. Then how many
No,
times they do the jet sweep?
I don't
How
know,
many?
but Dorian, why would you try to run it on second and fucking 17 and then second and or third and 24? What are you trying to prove? You're down by 24.
Yeah, man. That interception kind of took it out of me. I'm like, after
I
the
don't
third,
know.
after the about the yeah, it was a blur
Yeah,
after that.
it was, and I remember after that first possession in the second half, I said,
Oh yeah,
"Well, I said that's it, fellas, we're done." And
yeah,
I had everybody around me talking about, we still believe. I said, I believe that they have they've lost
yeah.
the Super Bowl.
I was that guy, but then it was just I just knew
Yeah.
reality wise. I'm like, them dudes ain't about to. They gonna try to run the ball. The way Jalen Hurts was getting out and running, I'm like, yeah. Then they was
Well,
just letting it go over the top. And I'm not. They wasn't doing nothing crazy. AJ
exactly.
Brown had a field that they just. It was a lot more. It was a lot more personal for the Eagles,
It
which
was.
I wish the Chiefs would have been like, you know what, we got a chance to take it home. We got a chance to give these boys that didn't get to win a chance to get one of the rings. But
Yeah.
hey, man, for some reason, the Eagles hurt a lot, man. They dealt with a lot too. So for them to get back in this
Yeah.
fashion and win in this fashion, oh man, you gotta respect it, man. That young D line played great. They got some young guys that stepped up to the plate.
Yeah.
And Jalen Hurts did he took what we gave him. Shit. He
Yeah.
was
He did.
prepared.
Yeah, he was.
He was
And
prepared.
but the only thing I have to say about this whole thing, because I'll say it like this: congratulations to the Eagles. My hat's off to you guys. You played your game. They did exactly what they were supposed to do.
Yep.
They stuck to their game plan.
They didn't do
And
anything different.
there's not any player or I don't like on that team, right? I think all of them are pretty decent guys as far as uh, I think that the Eagles players themselves are fine, right? But
Yeah.
I will say this: I did not like the fact that Nick Sirianni won a Super Bowl because I think he's a douchebag. I really do. And I'm sorry. I don't care if the Eagle fans don't like it. I don't like that dude. He, to me, was not worthy of winning a championship because he didn't present himself in the way that I think you present yourself as a head coach. Now, that's an opinion. That's a
Yeah.
feeling. That doesn't mean
Yeah.
that you have to like what I said. That's just how I felt. Now,
Yeah.
the organization did what they needed to do. They put their team together the best way. Sirianni actually put a game plan together, coached those guys to where they needed to be, and got them into a situation to where they were able to win a Super Bowl. So for that, I say congratulations. Well earned.
Exactly.
Well earned.
Exactly. Them boys
But
just wanted it more. It's all
yeah,
about want, man.
exactly. So
Shit. You seeing D Hop drop balls like that, it just
that was deflating because that was right before the half.
yeah.
And I'm
that we
like,
needed that. Yeah,
if
if
you
we would
could
have
have
got
got,
some before the half, yeah, it would
man,
have been momentum. It would have sucked the momentum out of them, but it paused. But
yeah, it would have been it would have been a chance to put some points on the board, and maybe coming in after half, maybe now you come in,
and you
you
get the
put,
ball.
yes. I'm like, that would have made it if you could have scored two touchdowns, one before half and then one after half.
Mm-hmm.
That'd have made it a 10-point game. Now you put a little pressure back on the Eagles. Now you put
Mm-hmm.
a little pressure back on the Eagles, but
Where they got to
alas,
play, they got to play ball, but they didn't have to play. They didn't have to. They didn't have to pull out all the cards up.
no,
They got in the lead. They adjust. They defense came to play, man. They defense came. That O line came to play. I mean, that
yeah,
D line came to play.
that D line came to
They was
play.
after Mahomes, man, and he should have been ready to fucking deal with that.
In a
But
way, I say yes, he should have been ready, but man, they collapsed that pocket so fucking fast, and I mean, there was really nowhere for Mahomes to go. And my other thing was, if that was the case, what happened to the quick fucking pass game? What happened to the quick pass game?
I ain't seen no trips lines up or nothing.
Nothing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? That's why I said the game
Yes,
plan. The game plan was just weird as fuck. It was so fucking weird. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
it was off to me too, but
It is what it
hey,
is. It is what it is. So we gave you what we thought were our reasons, and that's pretty much how we saw it. I mean, I gave numbers. I'm telling you what I think basically killed the Chiefs. Uh, third Super Bowl title hopes, and other people may have other things. That's just how things go. We know we look at things differently. D Rob seen one thing, I seen the other. But and
yeah,
I'm sure if Mike was on here, he would say, the same thing. He would have seen something else that he thought was different, or why he think they actually didn't perform well, or what reasons he had. But that's the thing about watching the game. You watch it and then you get a chance to look it over and see, okay, this is one perspective, and that's sometimes what is
yeah,
needed, you know.
yep.
But I will say that right now it sucks, and so we'll just have
Oh
to
yeah,
we'll wait till free agency and trade deadlines, and you know uh, the draft is coming and things like that, and then we'll see where we're at then. And it's been a hell of a run this year.
yeah. You can't complain.
I
Want to
mean,
come out with a win, but you can't get them all.
look, to go to three straight Super Bowls and win two of them.
Yep,
I mean, there's other teams out there that wish they had that opportunity or even came close to it.
exactly.
The Chiefs are the only ones that have ever actually came close to it. So
Yep.
I'm gonna leave it at that. Dorian, you got anything else you wanna, that's been bothering you about this game, or anything else you're looking forward to in the future for the Chiefs?
Mm, I just want some revenge. I just want them to go on a revenge tour. They almost had it. I mean, he's almost stamped it. I just feel like he got to get back to. And I feel like I don't know. It's almost like he was kind of coasting this year, and it was working, But I feel like, and that just shows you how great of a quarterback he is. But I feel like he's gonna have to get this team really to follow his lead and really step the fuck up next year.
Mahomes
Whatever the
is,
fuck they do, they need to fucking be somewhere all together. I don't give a fuck overseas, fucking working out, training together, getting
yeah.
chemistry, building that shit up, and let's go, man. I feel like I honestly don't see anybody else beating us next year, unless and we got it. It's dangerous It's dangerous in the AFC.
Yeah,
It's
and I
gonna be
can tell you,
dangerous in the NFC. So it's interesting to see how this shit is gonna work.
I will say this is all. I think Mahomes is actually going to have to become an asshole. He's going to
Yeah.
have to become a little bit of an asshole. He's going to have to play with a chip on his shoulder, and he's going to have to demand excellence from everybody, especially that offensive line. If he got to come into the huddle and grab face mask and yank the fucking face mask down, and tell this motherfucker, if you let this some bitch put his hands on me, I'll make sure you never fucking touch the field again.
He gotta go. He gotta go. Tom Brady him, man.
He
Yeah,
gonna have to.
I don't think people understand that as a leader, you have to hold people accountable. It
Exactly.
comes to a point in time where you have to be an asshole. You have to just literally call somebody out on their shit.
Exactly.
They're
And I
either
think
going to step up to the plate or they're gonna fold. And that's all right. Now move your ass out the way. We're gonna bring somebody else. But that's what the greats do. They hold you accountable and they step up when it's time to fucking step up. Because you didn't hear him sit there and blame nobody but his fucking
nope.
self.
He didn't. He didn't blame nobody. He said it was all on me. I take full responsibility. But I'm telling you right
Exactly.
now, Mahomes needs to be that guy.
He has to.
He
I
has to.
remember that's exactly literally you saying that story. I literally remember Nook telling me about hearing Tom Brady how he got up and said that shit to his. He said it that it, them same words to his O line.
Yeah.
Like they was so much under pressure. Like they couldn't fuck up. Like bro,
Yeah.
y'all better keep this man safe. This the $1 million baby. This the guy that's gonna get us to the promised land.
And and
Y'all
that's
got
why.
key pieces, but he the ice. Hey, he the secret ingredients.
Yeah.
Like
He's the
without
straw.
him, that ain't McDonald's no more.
Exactly.
That
He's that with the old saying. He's the straw that stirs the drink. God damn it.
yeah, man. Hey, shit bland without him. It's
uh,
bland.
so yeah,
Shit.
I think that's really what's going to have to happen. Mahomes is going to have to become an asshole to get his fucking point across to let these people
Yeah,
that he's playing with know we have one mission and one mission only is to get back to the Super Bowl and to win. And if you ain't riding with me, then you colliding with me. You got to get your shit together because if you don't, and you, like I said, if you let this dude put his hands on me, I'll make sure you never touch the field again. And I'm
exactly.
just saying he's going to have to be that guy. And I know people don't, oh, Mahomes is not, man, fuck, listen, that's for TV. And I love that he's like that for TV, for the kids, right? Set an example, be a good role model. But
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
this is
But the
football.
asshole side of it, man,
Yeah,
that's nothing but showing you the real of how you stay and basically go to that next level. Stay at that level. You have
yeah,
to hold people accountable. You have to push people to out their fucking comfort zone. You got to make people really fucking live up to their full potential. Like, motherfucker, if
exactly,
I'm out here doing this shit, then you need to be. Hey, we all got to fucking roll on a team.
exactly,
Your your whole life is to protect me.
exactly.
Your whole life is dependent on this right now.
uh, yeah, because I can tell you what, if we all got a role and you don't do your role out there on the field with me to protect me, your new role will be the guy on the bench that keeps my seat warm when I come back over here when we come off a dance because you will never
It
get
was a
back out
lot of
there.
dudes, man. Them dudes, man. I don't know, man. It's just I really don't feel like they came prepared. I really don't feel like they really looked at the Eagles and understand where the strengths was and where their weaknesses was. Because I'm like, at the end of the day, Jalen Carter,
He's a monster.
Jalen,
He's a monster.
You got Chris Jones on our team. You got a young Jalen Carter over there. Do you not see? Why? Shit. Creed Humphrey had a. That's the thing. Creed Humphrey had a lot to handle in that game.
He
So what does
did.
that do?
And
That
Creed
opens
gave
up every
Creed.
fucking thing.
Here's the thing: Creed gave up zero pressures and zero sacks, so he did his job. He did his job. I don't understand why things went as bad as they did, but I'm gonna leave it. I like,
They was licking their chops. Josh Sweat licking his chops. Them boys, Nolan Smith licking his chops.
yeah.
Fucking Nolan Smith.
Well,
He like, bro,
he actually didn't get any sacks, but he did have some pressures. But the thing is no matter what, it's five motherfuckers blocking against four.
I thought everybody got a sack besides Jalen.
No, no. So Josh Sweat, let's put it like this. Tooney
But
gave up a
Josh
sack.
Sweat was going crazy.
Yeah, Tooney gave up a sack. Caliendo gave up a sack. Jawan Taylor gave up a sack. Pacheco actually gave up a sack because he got just thrown, and then Travis Kelsey gave up a sack. I don't know how that happened, but Travis Kelsey gave up a sack. I looked up the numbers and I looked up the all 22, and yeah, Travis Kelsey gives up a sack. So, uh, yeah, it's like I said, it is what it is. But to me, at this point, Mahomes has to be an asshole. So if he's going to have to be an asshole, I
You got
hope
it. Yeah.
I hope he goes scorched earth with it.
Yeah.
Because now the talk is that Mahomes isn't as good as everybody said he
That's
was, and that's fine. Let him, and I hope he hears
yeah,
it all.
that's crazy.
I hope it plays over and over in a set of headphones he has
Yeah.
sitting on his nightstand when he goes to bed at night, and he's listening to this shit so he can come out and make a mockery of all these people that had so much to say about him. Because
Yeah.
I still believe Mahomes is the best QB in the league.
Who
So,
would? Who don't?
oh,
Yeah.
you got your detractors out there.
Oh
Trust me.
man, I
Oh,
don't want to. Hey,
they
we living in a moment right now,
yeah, I
man.
know you got a lot of them. I
You
heard a
can't even
lot of
name
them.
one. Shit. If we gonna be real, and this is without a doubt, shit, you might as well say Jalen Hurts the top number two quarterback in the league after
Oh,
Mahomes.
that's the talk right now. They'll say it's Jalen Hurts, and I'm gonna say okay.
I don't. I don't.
I'll
I feel like you can put him over Josh Allen to me,
yeah.
but I can't. Lamar, and then I'm just looking at how the way Jaden Daniels. I got to see him one more time. I think it's a. I think some other quarterbacks that's gonna step up. I can't. Joe Burrow. I still love Joe.
I
I
know you
feel
do.
like yeah. I fuck with Iceberg, man. I fuck with him, man.
I know you
Shit,
do.
that dog. Yeah, but I don't know, man. I like where Jalen's head is at, but I also feel like, bro, you I like him over Josh Allen, though. I can say that.
Well, I
Like he
don't
has
like
intangibles.
I don't like none of them.
I
How
just,
about that?
yeah. I mean, shit. All right,
I
I
don't like
respect him.
I don't like none of them. I don't like none of them. I'm at the point now where if I got to, you know, do my part and start sending Patrick Mahomes hate mail so he can start, feeling a certain
Hey, you
type of
Kermit
way.
the Frog, motherfucker. You better get your ass out there now.
Stop. You stupid.
He better
So
get his Muppet out. He better. He was like a Muppet in the Super Bowl.
I'm just saying, if I got to
Shit.
do that to get that dude the fire in his belly going, I mean, I'll do whatever I got to. Shit. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. That was our show. We've said our piece about the Super
Yeah.
Bowl. We're gonna leave
Yeah.
it there. We don't want to talk no more about it. We'll look forward to the off season, and we'll start doing a lot more shows, especially with the NBA in full swing, and
Yeah.
see if my Celtics can make it two in a
It's looking like it.
So we'll leave it here. Everybody, we want to thank you for watching the content. And as always, please leave a like. And if you can, share this content. We really appreciate it. It helps us out with the algorithm. So
Yeah.
for us here at the Cavecast, I'm Big Temp. That's D-Rob, Big Mike. Maybe
Your one and only.
we'll see you next
Your
week. Man.
favorite.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, now y'all take it easy. We out.